and I would also call people. So I learned early on in AA, if you're feeling rough, you're feeling kind of bad, go to a meeting. And the other
Mhm.
one was pick up the phone. So it's like, well, I
Okay.
don't have any friends anyway, and I can't go to the bars anymore. So I just did that. I hung out with AA people, and by pure dumb luck, I was able to stay, I was able to stay sober.
That's
So
good advice. Thank you. Yeah,
yeah,
I also failed to pick up the phone. Definitely. I think by the
yeah.
time I waited too long. I missed kind of the sweet spot of when I first felt it and didn't reach out, and then I got to the point that I was determined. So at that point I didn't want to call anybody because I didn't want anyone to talk me out of it, right?
If you have a really good life going on, that'll work against you. So you're like, well, I'm doing pretty good, and
Right.
I don't need to go to meetings, and I have a boyfriend, I have a house, I have my new BMW, or in my case, a new Tesla, and
Nice.
I don't need to go to meetings. And then stuff starts happening in the back of my head. It's like bam, bam, bam. There's a liquor store. I'm gonna get a bottle of gin.
That's
And
exactly right.
isn't that amazing how that happens? I,
Yeah,
I
it's
think those
crazy.
of us who are the most desperate, lonely, and maladjusted end up getting sober and staying sober. I mean, now, look at me now.
I
Here I
know, it's
am.
awesome.
I'm I'm the epitome of mental health.
Well, that's awesome. I hope to get there one day, or at least just more healthier.
So some
I'll
people
take
won't
it.
won't admit I have a slight obsession with cats, but other than that, and okay, anyways, hey, listen, glad you're here.
Thank you. I
Welcome,
appreciate you.
welcome aboard. Your story is all of our story. That so if you're listening going, oh, but it's like, oh, me, it's you, it's me. Da, 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 da. What's the name of that song, Sam? Sarah, Sarah by Hall and Oates. Hey, do you guys know that there's a Hall and Oates call-in line? What the heck is it? It's a helpline. Raise
Yes.
your hand if you ever heard of the Hall and Oates helpline. Okay, Sam, you have. Find the Hall and Oates helpline and put a link to it to everyone, would you? It's so great. You just call Hall and Oates, but the helpline's called Call and Oates, and you call them up and then they help you with your problem. What's that have to do with AA? Absolutely nothing. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Where are you? You're Ryan in Glasgow, Scotland, 13 years. Is that right? Is that true?
Is that a different Ryan? Is
Different
that
Ryan, yeah. Who the
okay?
hell are you? Who the hell are
Uh,
you?
I'm Ryan. I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado.
No
I
way.
am 389 days
Oh, no shit.
and first call, first anything AA.
Have you ever been to AA before?
No.
Oh, okay. So, what made you come here today?
I think I've made it where I am today, almost relying a lot on like all the health problems that uh it's just the doctor telling you need to stop with liver disease and then like your numbers maybe get better because you stop drinking.
Yeah.
And then I have no network, no nothing. I kind of like have made it this far. I feel like just sheer luck, and so I wanted to join and get some community.
Okay, you are definitely in the right place here today. Okay, so welcome to Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop. And Sam, if you would, did you put up the Hall and Oates call-in line? Did you put it up, Matt? And then don't look, give me that. I don't know. Look it up. There's this thing called the internet. You just ask and it goes boom, chat GTP, bam.
What is this Margot's one?
Uh,
One second, I'm looking
and
it up.
then put up the link to Newcomers Packet. That's for you, Ryan. Okay, so somebody put up the Hall and Oates. Come on, Rebecca, you're a Hall and Oates girl, aren't you? Get it up there. Are we recording? Yeah, we are. Okay. Um, Hi, iPhone. How are you? Where are you calling from? How long are you sober? Jan to iPhone. Kara. Hey, Kara. Hi, how are you? Where are you calling from and how long are you sober?
Hi, I'm Kara. I am calling from Michigan. This is day one again. As Nicole was talking, I can relate a lot.
Hey, listen, I have a question. So you've been to this meeting before?
I have not.
Oh, okay. So we put down there for you what's called the newcomers a newcomers packet. It's right there in chat. Have you been to AA before?
I have.
Okay, it's like, oh, so have you kind of been in and out or what?
Yes. Um,
Hmm.
I sought out counseling and did that very regularly, still am. But have relapsed a couple of times in the past month or so. And need to add more things to help keep me on track.
Well, here's the deal. And I'll tell you guys, especially you guys that are new. Alcoholics Anonymous was started in 1932, the year Prohibition ended and America got back to drinking for real. And they came up with this 12-step process, which teaches you how to live your life without drinking. AA is the first treatment for alcoholism in the history of humankind that actually worked. Their first 100 members of AA all stayed sober their entire lives. They had an 80 to 100% success rate. Um, Today it's down to 10% because people don't do the 12-step process. So the real miracle of Alcoholics Anonymous is this 12-step process that teaches you how to live your life without drinking. And what's really cool about it is it doesn't cost a dime. What? It's free. No, yes. Not only is it free, um, it works better than any therapy, any treatment center, any hospital. But the people that usually end up coming here and doing it are the people who have crashed into the wall numerous times. You know, you go, God, I went to therapy and then I went here and I did marriage counseling and then I had blah blah. I went to treat, but I'm still drinking. And then you come to AA, and it's like, holy shit, this thing works. And not only that, we got this guy called Big Daddy. Oh, wait here, let me change my name. And he thinks he knows everything. No, I don't really. Kind of a joke. So, anyways, that's what AA is. There it is. Huh? How's that? Uh, Sarah in California, how are you? You guys can change your names, incidentally. Put up where you're calling from, how long you've been sober. Sarah,
Yes.
do I
Sarah
know
from
you?
California. Yes, you do. 33
Change
33 days today.
change your name.
I'll
Do you know
try
how to
it.
do you know how to change it? Okay.
I'll
I
Okay,
try.
good.
changed it.
All
I
right.
changed
So, yeah, but Sarah's a big girl. She can start to change her. Hey, Christina. We got these great names for people in here today. Where are you
Good
calling from? How
evening.
long is See, hi, Al. Oops, wrong group. Sorry. Where are you calling from? And that's part of the Musk Doge group. So where are you calling from and how long? Oh, Boston, North Shore. Oh, look at you. You came back.
I came back.
That's a miracle. Good. All right. What's my name?
Uh, well, I think you like to go by Big Daddy, but your name
Yeah,
is
there you go. That's perfect. Uh, I do today. Other days it's Jann Dog. That was my gangster name. What? You weren't a gangster. Yes, I was. No, you weren't. Okay. What kind of gangster wears khaki shorts and a golf shirt? Um, Carmen. Hey, Carmen, how are you? Where are you calling from and how long are you sober? You can change your own name too. You know that, right? And what step are you on?
Hi, I'm Carmen. I'm an alcoholic calling from Orlando, Florida. I'm on 9 days and I just finished step 3 yesterday.
Oh, good. Who'd you do step 3 with?
Name Naaman
Naaman. Yeah,
and
Naaman. Cool. All right.
I don't see her in here.
So you are actually on step 4. Change that, guys. We're gonna give her the instructions for step 4 today. Kerrigan, how are you? Where are you calling from, and how long you been sober?
I'm calling from Kansas City, and I've been sober since Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Good. And, you've been to is that an echo, or do you have, like, a shadow with you?
I'm hearing myself. Is it better now?
Yeah, I hear
Okay.
myself all the time. That's when I have to take my medication.
Yeah, same.
I'm just kidding, I don't take meds.
Oh, same.
You probably should. What? Hey, Kerrigan, what so have you been to AA before?
I've been since 2019, off and on.
So you have the same problem as some of the other people here, huh? Keep
Yeah.
keep relapsing. But see, that's why this meeting is called Newcomers Slippers. Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop. It's designed for you and the other girls who are relapsing. So you are in the right place. And my suggestion is that you and the girls who are slipping come here every day for 5 days, right? So that's going to be, you ready, Matt? It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Come for 5 days, and then we'll put you to work. Okay?
Yep.
Mm. Okay, glad you're here. Welcome aboard. Ryan, another Ryan. God, we have 2 Caitlins and 2 Ryans. Just please, God, don't send another. Hey, Ryan, where are you calling from? And how long are you
Johnstown, Colorado, 6 weeks today, and I'm on step 8 and 9.
Okay, so so you were in that room the other day for step 8 and 9, right? And
Correct. Yes.
do you feel like you're are you doing amends yet? Are you working on them?
I'm working on writing them yet.
Have you done any?
I haven't done any yet.
Do you have my phone number?
I do not. I have the email.
Well, email's good.
Okay.
So send me an example of one of your amend letters, and let's get started on that, okay? Do it actually right now. Okay, so we have iPhone. So what's the deal? Hey, iPhone, are you here for AA, or do you have a name? Are you a real person? Jann to iPhone. So does iPhones, let's see if this thing even works. Well, you're unmuted, but we can't, okay, so if you don't talk to me, we kick you out of the meeting. Okay, so here, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room so you can hang out and talk to the nurse. What are you talking about? We don't have a nurse in here, I know. Do you think that's funny, Sam? Nobody's laughing today. What's the story?
I'm laughing. I was
You
laughing.
are? Okay, because I want to see that. Look, we need a little bit more jovial spiritedness here. Oh my God. We got all these other people over here. Where the fuck did they come from? Hey, Misty. Sing Misty for me. Hey, where are you calling from? How long are you sober? And are you here for AA?
Yeah, I'm from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I'm currently 2 days in,
Wow.
and I'm just trying to right now make as many meetings as I can. I've been in and out of the AA probably since I was 18, so just no
Were
longer
you
sober.
here? Were you here yesterday?
No.
Okay. Well, listen, glad you're here. Welcome aboard. And then we have
Thanks.
the newcomers packet there in chat. Do you see it? So
Okay.
you can grab that. It tells you all about AA. My suggestion to you is come to this meeting for 5 days, and see how you like it, okay? Because this is called Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop. And what that means is this meeting was designed specifically for you. Like, how did you find this meeting? You went and you were looking and you said, "Oh my God, Newcomers Slipper Step Workshop. That's me. Let Harry Berto in." Somebody, right? Is that it?
Yeah, yeah.
I know. That's why we titled it that way. Okay, I'll let Harry Berto in if you aren't going to let him in. What's the matter with you?
We did.
Exactly. It's a one-man show.
Look at Sam Yeshi, how are you? Jamin Yeshi, where are you calling from? How long are you sober?
My name's Jigme. I'm sober probably 1 week now. I'm calling from Toronto.
Canada? Sober 1 week. You've been to AA before?
This is almost like my first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, glad you're here. Come for 5 days, see how
Okay.
you like it. And do you see the newcomers packet in chat?
Yes, I do.
Grab that and read it. There's a bunch of material in there. So grab that and save it and read it. Okay, good. Barbara, hey Barbara, how are you? Are you here for AA and where are you calling from today?
From Westport, Connecticut.
No way.
Yeah,
And how long are you sober?
about 20 days.
20 days, no kidding. And Westport, 20. Have you been to AA before?
I have. I must
You have?
say, I am amazed by your presentation. It's really very inspiring.
Just in a good way. Good, I'm glad. And today's Dog Thursday, if you have a dog. Hey, do you happen to know Rebecca? She's from Westport.
No, I don't.
It's a small town, I'm sure, isn't it? Okay.
30,000, I think.
Glad you're here.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah, hang out. Don't go anywhere, no matter what I say. Portia, is it Portia or Porsche? How are you? Where are you calling from? Oh, you're in California. How long are you sober? Are you
Just
afraid?
today.
Just today, day one, and have you been to AA before yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So what are you doing? Are you trying to get sober now? Is that it or what?
Yes, I just keep falling back into it. I even checked myself into a outpatient group and because they're just having like, pain management and stuff, and they won't give me the medication I need. So wine just seems to be my elixir for sleep and comfort, but it's doing more than it's affecting me. And it just seemed like, I don't know, I just can't, like I have to have some wine. And I stop and then I get back on it. I get back on it, especially when I have family members around and hanging out with them and stuff and they drink. And so I want to have me a glass too, just to mingle with them. So
Listen, I want you to know, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I also want you to know that you're in the right place. This is Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop, and this is the perfect meeting for you. This is the meeting where you can get sober. So just hang in there and come for 5 days, see how you like it. Natalie, hi Natalie, how are you? Where are you calling from and how long are you sober now?
Hi, Denver, Colorado. Today's day one as well. I feel I am exactly how she is too.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm glad you're here. Welcome aboard. And then
Just so sick of relapsing.
well, this is the meeting where relapsing stops, okay? Because this meeting's called Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop, and we will show you exactly, I'm telling you, how to get sober and stay sober. You come here for 2 weeks and we'll change your whole life. This is the best meeting in the world like that. So, Harry Berto, I'm going to make you a co-host, Harry Berto. You can turn your camera. So, Harry Berto, how many days sober are you?
181.
Okay, now where are you? Harry Berto. Okay, 181, you're in LA. So, Harry Berto, I'm going to ask you to do something. So, we have so many new people here, and let's change his name. Would you tell everybody what happened to you and how you got sober? So, just go ahead and tell your story. Harry Berto has been coming to this meeting for 500 or 600 days. So, and the rest of you, incidentally, you can also, excuse me for 1 second here, you can turn your cameras on. So over to Harry Berto. He's gonna tell you how this particular meeting worked for him.
Okay, well, my name's Heriberto. I'm an alcoholic. I started coming to this meeting about a little over 2 years ago. I've been drinking and selling drugs and doing drugs since I was like in high school. And I've always been good at school and in sports and stuff. But when I got older, I got really into partying with my friends and stuff. And then it got really bad when I turned about 22, when I moved in with my dad in Watts, California. I started drinking heavily, doing meth heavily, selling drugs and getting into fights and shooting at people and stuff. And I'm lucky I'm not dead or in jail for any of that stuff, but I kept the pattern going. I would drink and then I would stop and then for a couple of weeks or months, and then I would keep drinking. But it came to the point where I started drinking, and I started waking up with hangovers, and I would be sick. And instead of stopping, to feel better, I would drink, and then I would feel better, but I would have to drink more. And eventually, it came to the point where I was so sick, I would wake up like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning every day. And I would start drinking. I would take a shot, chase it down with a beer, and then just keep the pattern going till like breakfast time, and then lay down for about an hour and a half, and then go back at it till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night every day. And after a couple of weeks, it got to me because I started shaking and I started sweating, and it's kind of eerie because one morning I could barely even walk, and I was already drunk. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was wasted already. And my mom told me in Spanish, she was crying, "Stop drinking, and if not, you're gonna die." And so I listened to her. I stopped drinking, but I probably shouldn't have because I had been drinking for I don't know how a couple of weeks every day already, and I didn't go to the store to buy more beer. So all I did was lay down in bed the whole day, and I started sweating. And come nighttime, like at 7 or 7:30 o'clock at night, I started shaking and stuff. And I was like, oh man, this isn't good. So I texted my brother and I called him and I told him, hey, I'll tell him what was going on. And he came over and he took me to the hospital, and it got even worse when I was at the hospital. I started shaking even more. And they had to inject me 4 times with I don't know what because my heart rate was up and everything. And yeah, I came close to dying and like in front of my brother in the hospital. I just remember looking over and when I was in the hospital bed after I calmed down, and he just lifted his hand up like this and he went like this and he shook his head and he was like, "Yep, that close." And yeah, I've felt some bad things before in my life, but that's probably one of the worst feelings I've ever felt. I mean, if that's how people die because of alcohol, it feels terrible.
Can you tell us what happened to you? You've been coming to this meeting for what, 500 days or so? And
A little bit
how do
more.
you like this meeting right here? How did it change for your life?
Well, after I got out of the hospital, I went to the clinic that I go to, and my counselor told me, "Hey, find a meeting. You got to start doing meetings." He's like, if not, you're gonna go back into it. He's like, you're probably gonna die. He's like, and it's gonna get worse. He's like, next time you might not even make it to the hospital. So excuse me. um, I started going to classes with him, and then the same week I got out, he just told me start looking for meetings, and he gave me the uh, the web address, and I looked it up, and then when I started scrolling through the thing, the name of the meeting caught my attention, Newcomers Slippers. So I looked into this meeting. I joined the meeting, and I didn't know anything. I didn't even know the Serenity Prayer or anything, and I've been here ever since. I've tried other meetings before, like on the weekends and stuff, but there's like 70 people or 80 people, and they're just talking and like about how their day goes and stuff like that. So yeah, this if you want to get sober, come to this meeting.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Thank you. Good job. Hey, Lisa, would you tell everybody your story, what happened to you, and then what happened to you once you stood? Because here you are, you're like a normal housewife, American, doesn't look like an alcoholic, dog lover, and how could you possibly end up at this meeting? Go ahead.
Wow, fooled you. Um, let's see, my story really is I just had too many run-ins and DUIs, and finally it just all caught up with me. So, I've been put on probation before, and the court has ordered me to come to meetings and things like that. And I never really took it seriously in the past. I've never, I went through the motions, did everything the court asked me to do, what have you. And I guess this last DUI that I had, I really had to come to terms and say, you know what, there's a lot on my plate right now. The health of others is relying on me. There's a lot of people relying on me to do the right thing. And, again, probation, what have you. I finally took it seriously and found this meeting. And this is the first time that I ever went through the process of doing the 12 steps. And in doing so, I realized, one, I enjoy coming to meetings, whether it's this meeting or some other. It's really good to know that I'm not alone. This group here understands things that I'm going through that maybe even my best of all friends doesn't understand. But also by going through the steps and the processes, I realized I can not only apply this towards alcohol and fending off alcohol going forward, but I'm able to use the concepts and the practices that we're learning for other areas of my life. And by going through the 12 steps and learning the 12 steps, I've learned to cope differently, to react differently to things that normally just set me off into a pattern. Normally, my ex-husband would really drive me to a point of not insanity, but close, or wanting to drink and things like that. But I've learned different coping mechanisms or reaction mechanisms and things like that. I really wish I would have taken the 12 steps seriously on my first or second DUI, but I didn't.
Hey,
but
let me ask you a question. So you look like a normal, all-American girl. You don't look like you should be on probation. You don't look like you get DUIs. Like you have a professional job and a house and a life. Talk
I
about
do. I do. I'm one of those people who can, well, right now I don't have a job, so that's not because of drinking, but just because of the economics. But I thought I was managing all areas of my life very well. But then now that I'm looking back and doing the steps, especially where, we point out, who's done us wrong or resentments and things like that, I realized that my drinking did contribute to that. Oh, my puppy just jumped up. So, what appears maybe to you, it's just, everything's in order. I realize that, I still have to work on making my foundation a little stronger, and doing the 12 steps helps me achieve that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is sometimes, we look like nothing's wrong here. And then, but meanwhile, we're drinking ourselves to death. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And we have all these new people here today.
But
So like all 5 or 6 new women in here. It's like, so it's why I called on you. Go ahead, what?
what I have to say too is, though, I mean, whether it's easier for me to walk into a room of strangers and pretend that nothing's wrong and that everything is just rosy and peachy. But when you get down to it and you start talking about specific issues or items, you can totally hear the crack in my voice, or what to ask. As far as a support group, we all know each other's weakness, and you all know what questions to ask. I could go into a room full of others and play it off like absolutely nothing's wrong. But I think I'm just to a point where I'm not going to let this beat me down any longer, and I'm using the tools to make me go further.
Yeah, the thing, what Harry Berto said is really accurate. Alcoholism is a killer disease. So you can have what is it they're saying is, the people used to say to me, said, what, when I was in my 20s, they said, you're going to make a nice looking corpse. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, you drink yourself to death in your 20s. And, when everybody goes to your funeral, they say, oh, well, he looks so good. And that's, alcoholism is a killer. All right. So where are we here? So, Matt, I'm going to ask you if you would read, and Sam, if you would post up, but let's just read the welcome. Okay, don't read anything beyond the welcome, okay, Sam and Matt. And so they're gonna explain to you guys how this meeting goes. Go ahead, over to you, Matt.
Hey, Matt Alcoholic. Welcome to Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop. If you're new to AA or coming back, this meeting's for you. This group is exactly what the name says, a workshop. We read 6 AA books, work the steps, sponsor you, and give reading and writing assignments. We'll teach you an AA program. We move right along here and people get well here. Newcomers Slippers is a step workshop. Unlike most AA meetings, it's not a speaker's meeting nor a discussion meeting. It's more like a class, AA 101 or AA University. You want to have the attitude of learning and do the assigned reading and writing on the steps. We'll take it through the steps in AA books in short order. So if you're looking for guidance and direction in an AA program, this meeting's for you. This meeting is also a very unique meeting since we use the same principles AA used between 1932 and 1939. Everybody works in the group and moves through the 12 steps to live our lives free from alcohol and learn a new way of living. Glad you could make it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So Sam, I'm going to ask you, would you put up the instructions for step one, the first half of step one? And since we're going to do something a little different today, but since we have a lot of new people in here today, well, I'm going to give you the instructions for step one, and let's see if you can get going on it. Because just in talking to everybody here, everybody sounded like, I'm sick of this shit and I'm ready to get sober, ready to work the steps. So that's just what we're going to do. So if you would look over here on your right-hand side in chat, it says the first half of step one. So you can copy and paste this if you want to. If you're driving, pull over and park, and take out a pen and pencil. So the first half of step one says, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol. So we're talking about powerlessness over alcohol. So what we do here is our suggestion for first step assignment is you start with the last time you drank, when it was, the date, what you drank, who you were with, what happened, what the consequences were. And then you're going to write, so it also says here, when you do your writing, pray before you write, ask God to guide your pen, show you what to write. Don't write for more than half an hour a day. So an example, so what are we doing now? Okay, we're going to write down about every single time that we ever drank. So start with every time that I drank. So let's start with the last time. Okay, so the date, the last time I drank, it was in the summer. Okay, what I drank. I drank Cointreau. Is that orange liqueur? Don't ask me why. Who I was with. I was by myself. And what happened? Well, I had just celebrated an AA birthday for 2 years, but I was taking pharmaceutical drugs and I felt like a fraud. I was taking Valium and Librium to try to, and Quaaludes to try to make myself feel better. So I thought I felt whatever, I felt terrible. So I went to a bar and decided I'm going to celebrate my 2-year AA birthday by having 2 drinks. How crazy is that? And then what happened was I came back and went to a pancake house and I put the drugs out on the table and started drinking coffee with these drugs. And then these girls came over to me and said, "You're wasted. They've called the cops. You need to get out of here." So I left with these girls at like 2 a.m. and I kind of disappeared for 2 days. I don't remember what happened. But when I came to in my apartment, I had been fired from my job and my girlfriend broke up with me. Those were the consequences. And I felt really bad. I was like seriously hungover. So that was the last time I drank. Okay. And then we could go to the time before that. So the time before that would be the day before I ate some. What did I drink? Well, I took some Quaaludes. Who I was with myself and my girlfriend. What happened? We got into a fight. She threw me out of the house. What the consequences were, I went into a downward spiral, rented a car, and then went to a bar. So that was the time. That was just the day before. But this was my life on an ongoing basis. And I could work my way all the way back, like to the time when I was 18 and I, was skiing. It was the winter time. We were drinking whiskey. I was with 3 or 4 friends from school. What happened was we went skiing, drank while we were skiing. And then I stole a truck and started hitting fences with it. Got pulled over, got thrown into a alcohol treatment center for locked ward for 30 days. The consequences, had charges to public and private property, diagnosed with acute alcoholism. And I think I had my 18th, I was 17 at the time, had my 18th birthday. So everything disappeared as I was a juvenile. But that was and then I had plenty of days where you could write them all down. I would go to the bar, drink, have like gin and tonics, and I'd be drunk and I'd be, okay, I have to go home. And I would take a taxi home and crawl in to bed, go to sleep, and then try to wake up in time to go to work, get up, take a shower, pop some Librium, have some coffee, go to work, look at the clock and think, it's 9 o'clock, but I'm going to start shaking at 11 or 12. So I try to get all my work done. I don't know how many people have done that. Get all my work done by 11. Okay, there you go. And get everything done. And I was here, you're doing great, everybody, and then I'd start coming apart. I'd have to either eat some pills or I'd reach into my desk drawer and, I was too stupid to drink vodka. So I'd drink gin. And then they'd come in and they say, are you drinking? And I'm like, well, yeah, everybody drinks here. Yeah, but it's 11 o'clock in the morning. The bar's not even open. Well, my bar's open. What are you talking about? What do you care? I made sales. I'm doing great. Well, we're going to have to ask you to leave. Who's had that before? Security's going to walk you to the door. I thought I was doing a great job. Nope. So everybody, new kids, do this writing. Actually, you can start doing the writing right now. Okay, see how many you can come up with. Work your way all the way back to the first time you drank when you were 13 years old, or whenever the hell it was. And try to come up with 10 of these, or some people have come up with 100. Where's Joe? Didn't you come up with like a couple hundred, Joe? So everybody start working on your first step. Now, even if you've done it before, do it now. So like, let's say you're in here, Matt, Sam, Lisa, Rebecca, Chaz, start writing, Stacy, everybody come up with 10. Raise your hand when you have at least 10, especially new kids, first timers here. Let me know what you come up with. All right, everybody writes. This is good. And just start writing. I just told you a few of mine. Francis, start writing. Lydia's driving. Is that a dog? That's a dog she has over her shoulder. Joe in Boston. Joe, how many did you come up with when you were writing?
Well, I came up with about 20. I was targeting for 10, ended up with 12, but then kept thinking of other ones to add in because I felt like either I remembered them and it bugged me that I didn't include them, or because I thought it was important to my story.
Okay, Portia, you're writing, right? Good. She's writing. Jim A., you're writing in Toronto. Good. Misty, are you writing? Get going. Okay, Kelly, you're writing, right? Good. Good. Okay, good. Everybody writes. Morgan. Try to write so when it was in the winter. What I drank, it was vodka. Who I was with, I was with whoever. What happened? We drank this, we got drunk. What were the consequences? Oh God, I just woke up with a terrible hangover. I had a lot of those. Every day. I would wake up in the morning and I would go, oh my God, I wish I were dead. I just felt so horrible. I have to get into the shower. I got to get in there. And I'd be like, I don't know if this is going to help me. Wait, what do I have here? Okay, I've got some white crosses. I'll take a half a white cross. I'll take this Librium. You know what? I have some fresh bean coffee. I'm gonna make a latte right here. And have some coffee, okay. And I have some ginseng. I'll take that. Oh God, I feel better now. I feel good. Jeff, keep writing, start writing. I feel better. Okay, good. I can go to work and I go down and, take the bus downtown, walk into the building, the Citizens Bank building, 3rd floor. Hey, Jan, how you doing? Morning. Good. And walk right in my office and open up my book. Okay, there's 15 ad customers. Call them up. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, this is Jan with Cake Eaters Magazine. How you doing? Hey, good. Is Bob there? Good. Bob, how's it going? Good. So we have an ad campaign for you. You haven't renewed it yet. What do you think? And he said, that's too much money, Joe. I can cut you a deal on this. I make you an offer. And I talked to Bob, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I talked to Dave and I look at the clock and I go, okay, I'm going to make 15 calls, Jeff. I'm going to make 15 calls. I'm going to make so many sales. Dut, 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 dut. I'm feeling good and my head starts to feel a little bit bad. It's starting to wear off. I'll pop another half White Cross. I gotta have some more coffee. It's noon. I'm gonna call up to the bar that's downstairs. Hey, did you guys bring me up a black Russian? And the waiter comes up, hands it over to me. Here you go, Jan. Pay him $2.50 in 1970. And then by noon, I've already made 7 sales, booked $20,000 on the books. My name's top of the board. Jan's doing great. And then, well, Jen, where are you going? I said, I gotta go. Go ahead, Jeff. How about you? Tell us one of yours.
Okay, well, the last time I drank, or I was listening very carefully to what you said about the business world. The difference between Jeff Alcoholic here, the difference
Yep.
between you and I. First of all, I didn't get into it till I was 30, and I had a whole lot of other, construction experiences and other things like this. But what I did, my story is very similar to yours, except for leave out the white crosses, leave out the drugs, the booze, the coffee, getting in early, making sure I, made deals, anything to cover my alcohol. And I did not order booze to come in. No. And also, what I did was, Jen, I'm realizing, I'm hearing your story. I found places where I could work where people took care of business, they were successful, but they drank like me. They had something to hide too. And so they couldn't out me, I couldn't out them, and we succeeded. It's a hell of a way. They were the type of guys that would disappear. I would join them at 3 after I'd been in days, made my day. They would drink. They'd been out drinking since noon, okay? But although they'd taken care of business too. Then one was the treasurer, but he would come in there on Sundays because he'd been missing. He'd come in on Sundays and make it known he was working all day and take care of business stuff. Yeah, I relate.
What made you hit bottom?
What made me hit bottom? The last time I drank, I just realized I had come into AA 6 months before. I had gone out once for less than 24 hours, just an evening, and I said, "What the hell did I do that for?" No consequences. 3 months later, I did the same thing on June 4th, 1985, and I drank. I took a drink during lunch with a business associate, and I figured, I might as well drink for the rest of the, go back to the office and then drink after, I drank through the evening. I then drank with a friend. She and I went running. We ran everything. I kept drinking. I had shooters in my whatever hidden on me.
Stop right there. You went to AA, right?
Yes, but I lied about the first step. I thought I had it, and I'm in my arrogance and in my devious thinking. I went out those 2 times.
Okay, stop right there. Let's go around the room. Let's everybody share one. So you got one, Rebecca. Go ahead.
Hi, Rebecca, grateful recovering alcoholic. Last time I drank was August 21st. I drank vodka. I was by myself most of the time. I fell, fractured my skull, fractured my neck, fractured my groin, pelvis, ambulance, hospital, ICU. They weren't sure if I was going to make it.
So did you start coming here to this meeting?
After I went to inpatient physical therapy. Yeah. And I was lucky they detoxed me there. But I was in detox.
This meeting.
Yes, this meeting. I came home, hopped on meeting the first day. Asked for a sponsor in that meeting. Nobody responded, was frustrated. Luckily found this meeting, and gosh, Jann said, don't worry, we'll sponsor you and take you
Yeah.
through the steps. And that's exactly what I needed.
And you're helping people here too.
Yes.
Right now. You're up through step 12. Okay, excellent. Good job. Let's go over to hey Portia, you're writing. What did you come up with? Do you have one you can share?
Okay. I wrote it said when, okay, 2:05:25. I was by myself. I drank a whole bottle of Cabernet wine until I fell asleep. The consequences were I felt drained. I thought the wine would relax my pain, but I felt more crippled than I felt before I drank. So I took a muscle relaxer and a nerve pill, fell back to sleep, and woke up this morning feeling beat down.
There you go. So keep coming. Come here for 5 days. Okay, Jijimi, Toronto, how about you? You got one?
Yes, yes, I got one. Last time I drank, Jigme alcoholic. Last time I drank, it was New Year, and I drank with like two new friends that I met. I was I also smoked some crack and did some drugs, and uh, uh, that kind of ended me up in the hospital. Yeah, and now I'm here. I'm back at my mother's place. Yes,
Okay,
and
so
yeah,
keep coming, okay? Just come here every day for 5 days, and we'll take care of you. We can help you out. Jeanette, did you come up with one? What do you got? You have one there? Are you writing?
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Let me take my camera off. All right,
Okay.
there we go. All right. So last time, it was I couldn't come up with the exact date, but it was just past
Yeah.
midsummer. I was getting ready to go to work. I had did a little bit of drinking, a little bit of drugs. Usually I was not the type to drink or do drugs while I was at work, but I was super tired that day and I needed a little boost. And I could remember actually, I draw blood for a living, and I could actually remember falling asleep right in front of my patient as have a needle in my hand and I'm drawing. Yeah. So that was pretty scary for me and for the patient, I'm sure.
And what were the consequences of that? Anything?
Consequences were that the patient's mother, because it was she must have been in about her 20s, early 20s, and her mother came with her, called and complained. And that was actually the first complaint I ever got. So yeah.
Well, listen, so I'm glad you're here. Keep writing. You're welcome to come every day for 5 days, see how you like it. Christina in Boston, North Shore. So you got one?
Yeah, I sure do. Story of my life. 1/30/25, last day of January. Large bottle of Chardonnay. Drank the whole thing, drank it alone with my 17-year-old, the next room over. How did I feel at the first two drinks? Empowered and righteous, and then nothing, and then remorse, shame, guilt, skin crawling, would have done anything to turn my skin inside out and get
So
outside.
those were the consequences, your skin crawling and feeling terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So keep writing and keep coming back tomorrow. Excuse me, Francis in Riverside. Did we talk to you yet? No, not yet. What did you come up with? Anything? Jan to Francis. Or not. uh okay. How about you, Naaman? What'd you come up with? Do you have one?
Yeah, I have one. November 24th, 2022, drank Jack and Coke. I was with an ex-girlfriend after a night of karaoke. Made it home fine. She asked me to go to her place as an ultimatum I was supposed to be staying at her place on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Chose to drive back to her place to make her happy. And the consequences are I got a DUI, and 3 years later, here I sit without a
Hey,
driver.
good. Glad you're here. Thank you. It's excellent. How about you, Kelly? Do you have one?
January 25 of 25, I drove 2 hours north to a birthday party for 1-year-old. And then on the way home, I stopped and visited my aunt and uncle. And got there, I had 2 glasses of wine about 3 o'clock. And then about 9 o'clock, my uncle said, well, let's have a drink. And so from my recollection, we had 2 drinks with tomato juice. And then at night,
So what were the what happened and what were the consequences of that?
I got a DWI that night. I spent
There you go.
3 days in jail. And then I come home from jail on Monday and went to an AA meeting. And I've been at one ever since.
Keep coming, don't stop. Hey, Morgan, how about you? Were you able to write anything? Did I talk to you already? You have to help me out, Matt. Okay, thank you. Look at Matt, he's Johnny on the spot.
One in particular, just like one of the many nights in my apartment alone by myself. Big bottle of wine, finishing that in one sitting, blacking out and not remembering kind of the events of the rest of my night. Always waking up with some kind of self-harm. I'm a cutter, so that was never good and scary to wake up to and not remember doing. So for me, getting sober is very much trying to heal all of that.
Well, you're definitely in the right place. Keep coming here. Come for 5 days. And but see, you're already started on the first step here. So you're doing great. Misty, did we talk to Misty yet? Matt's keeping track. How about you, Misty? Did you come up with one? No.
Yes.
Okay.
The last day I drank was 2 days ago. I believe that was February 4th, 2025. I was by myself. I drank a pretty big bottle of Admiral Nelson in a 2-day span. The following day, my boyfriend came in and I was so whacked out. It just I physically, like I was passing out. My respirations were stopping. Having really bad heart issues, and those are kind of been the consequences of my drinking. And I've had a lengthy drinking span, if you will, and I'm at a point like it's old, man, and I'm 44 now, and I just need to stop, and I just want to heal. And I can relate to that one girl, being a cutter. Like every time I drink, the guilt the next day, the remorse, and it's just I just want to heal, and I look forward to coming to your meetings.
Just come. I'm telling you, in 2 weeks, you'll feel 10 times better. We can take care of you. So definitely. Did I call on Kara, Matt? No, Kara, how about you? Did you come up with one?
Hi, I did. My last drink was last night. It was wine. I have always hidden it from my husband. And he could tell that I was not in the right state of mind and that I had been drinking. And he actually has a handheld breathalyzer here, and he had me blow in that. And I was ashamed, very ashamed. Any bit of trust that I have been working to gain back is gone.
Yeah. Well, alcoholism is a disease. It is a disease. Matt, over to you if you would read the promises, please.
Sure. Mad Alcoholic, these are the promises on page 83 of the big book. If we're paying